Hi, Kevin here. I've just been thinking a lot about traditions today, so I thought I'd post a little video about that. You know, Grace and I watch a lot of YouTube videos ourselves, and we often like to watch these dance videos like African dance type things. And I was thinking about this that these traditions, they're they're fun to watch, you know, as an outsider. But it's a little tricky, you know. We have to be careful that we're not sort of being voyeurs in a way, uh, kind of gazing at these outsiders or whatever, instead of just enjoying the traditions for what they are, you know. And I'm thinking about this. I guess I should say that I studied performance studies in my master's. My undergrad is in theater, so performance in terms of theater, but performance is more than that. You know, performance has a lot to do with how we act in everyday life and how societies behave together and so on. And when we think of the history of theater, what we're thinking about is this kind of traditional way of acting together. Whether that's in these traditions of dancing, of having these ceremonies, doing rituals, and we still do this today in the Western world. Just we don't think of it, I think, so much as theater, as performance, or even sometimes as ritual. We just think of them as maybe religion, or we think of them as theater specifically, or dance. We kind of compartmentalize all of this instead of thinking of it all as being part of one big sort of tradition or type of tradition that we share. One reason why these traditions are important is because they help to pass along societal memory. There's a book by Paul Connerton called How Societies Remember, and he talks a lot about this aspect that shared memory is passed on through performances, through traditions, through rituals. And so things like theater and dance are important because they pass along this collective societal memory. I wonder what happens then when we turn people's traditions into spectacle. If there's something lost there, or, uh, you know, if it becomes dangerous in some way. You know, I'm thinking about white colonists going into Africa and seeing all of these tribal dances and things and thinking, hey, this is a neat show. Like, we can make some money off of this. I was just reading about this. What was it? A village? Some kind of village? No, that wasn't it. Oh, we did watch that, though, the Port Elizabeth thing. No, I'm thinking about, like, in America, we have these things called restoration villages. And so I suppose it's sort of like that, where a tribe lives on some land. Gosh, I guess it's sadly it's a little bit like what we do with reservations with native people here in America too, in a way. But we create these villages where we can go and see how the people live, you know. And I think tourists do this when they go to Kenya and they visit the Masai Mara and they see the welcoming dance, and it's like, well, is that being put on for these people? Well, in a way it is, but it's still a part of tradition, but also what part of it is buying into this kind of voyeurism or um, you know, culture porn in a way. So, and I think it can be dangerous, you know, if people live a certain way for a long while and then they're kind of told that in some cases, ooh, the way that you dance is very scandalous because, you know, some of these people dance naked, for example. And of course there's history of that in Western culture too, but in America I think we're so uh, wrapped up in prudishness in a way that we see something like that and exciting and titillating in a certain way, and also, oh, you can't do that. No, no, no. No, we can't show that on YouTube, or we can't post that on Facebook. That's inappropriate. In a way, that's erasing traditions. That's erasing how these people live, and in a way, erasing them as people, because they can't be shown in their true context, and they're being given this this mantle of having to account for the feelings of the white people, and that's not right. That shouldn't be happening. So I don't know what the answer is to all that, but it's just something I've been thinking about today, and maybe I'll continue thinking about. Maybe there's a video in there somewhere, although I guess we can't really show some of the things I'm talking about. I keep looking over at Grace's right over here. That's why I'm doing that. Anyway, this video is also to say thank you to now 400 subscribers here on YouTube. I'm so grateful that you're here. I'm glad that you're enjoying what you're seeing, and I hope you'll stick around and see what happens next. I also want to say a big shout out to my Patreon. It's small but mighty at this point. We have a new patron, Layla Abdo, who's a friend of mine actually. So thank you, Layla, for joining. And you can also join too if you go to patreon.com. Whoa, let me try that again. If you go to patreon.com/KevinFStory, you can also become a member. You can get some behind the scenes footage. I also have stuff there for teachers. I have music there. There's a whole bunch of different things. Everything I do, I try to post there on Patreon. So go ahead and check it out. And thank you so much. And I look forward to making one of these in the next 100. Can we hit it in the next week? It might be. I don't know. It's people have been joining left and right. So thanks for being here. And happy Merry. It's Hanukkah right now, although this is a Christmas tree. So happy Hanukkah if you celebrate that. We had some latkes and challah the other day. I don't know. I don't want to go into it, but I've absorbed some cultural Judaism from the people I know. So there's that, but also it's Advent if you celebrate that. Today is Jamhuri Day. Happy Jamhuri Day. Happy Independence. Happy Republic, Kenya. And yeah, see you soon. Bye.